All right, let's see here. We should be live, guys. We're just trying to get everything up on our end. 1 second. All right, and we're live. Are we up? There we go.
There
Okay,
we go.
we're good to go. What's up, guys? Good morning. Michael and Rob here, Lake Michigan Angler. Do me a favor, give us a quick thumbs up. Let us know you guys are hearing and seeing us just fine here. We've got Rob on a new kind of system and all of that, so we're just make sure that everything's looking good. You guys can see and hear everything. Good morning, Jason, Mo, Anthony, David. Rocking the merch, looking good, guys. Yeah, twinsies. Twins effect over here.
Yep.
Chris, Big Lake Little Boat. Sounds good. Thank you, bud. I got the thumbs up. All of that. Awesome, man. So you know the routine for those of you that are regulars here. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna go ahead and give it a minute or two here. Let folks trickle in to the live, and then we'll get into as we normally do. We'll talk about what's new at the shop here that you might be looking for, items that might came in, stuff you need to know about. We'll get into the fishing report. And then today's live will also end on a parting note, I guess, if you will, about just some changes that are happening here and so on and so forth. So we'll get into that. As always, your questions are welcome and highly encouraged. You are new to salmon fishing, or if you're a veteran, it doesn't matter. Whatever skill level you're at, we're here to be a tool for you guys to use to get educated on how to fish out here, how to be successful. So any questions at any point in the live, throw them in the chat. We have the ability now to pull up and display your guys' comments, like this, for example. RLDG, good morning, fellas. So we can pull it up and display it so folks can follow along with the question as we answer it. And so we want just another step to make it more interactive as much as possible. So don't feel like you can't ask any kind of questions, no matter how basic you may feel it may be.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to help while we're live. So good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Take a look here real quick at where we're at. All right, 62. Cool. Looking good. Before we get started, how's the fishing for you guys been? Let us know your quick chat report. Give us the TLDR, how it's been. If you got out this week, let us know, and then we'll get into everything here in a moment. Good to see a lot of familiar names here. Patrick, what's up, dude? Richard King, what's up? Oh, let's not forget, we'll talk about the next brawl.
Yep.
Well, now that Salmon-O-Rama's over. Hallelujah. Captain Dominic, welcome back. He said it's a grinder yesterday morning. Okay. It could be like that. One day it could be grind, next day it could be on fire. It's low variables. Scott said, let's see what do you say here. He said 55 watching, only one like. All right. Feel free to like it all up. The wild side says 6 steelheads, 2.
Oh, very
I'm
nice.
sorry, 6 kings, 2 steelhead.
Very nice.
Good to hear that, man. Last Friday was tough in Milwaukee for us. Warm water. Okay. Morning, John, Rob. Wild side was early in the week. He had that catch. Nice. Anthony said, going to try out of Jackson Park tomorrow. Anyone doing any good out of South Chicago? Anthony, I don't know out of Jackson Park. That area, to my knowledge, is like if you're going to fish Chicago, you're better off going on Diversey. You just have more access to like the R4. And I know it's been producing really well. I know Captain Ernesto's been down there, and this week he's been sending pictures out. They've been doing really good with Kings in Chicago still. I just don't know if Jackson Park, you're kind of like in between everything. I don't hard to say, but from what I do know, Diversey, which is the public launch, you can go out there, go north, and fish out of there, and you'll have success. Jason said, last night we had a nice mix of bows and kings. 11 for 15 in Kiwani.
Nice.
Very good, man. Awesome. Brian said, all flash and fly bites, 13 kings. Average was 13 pounds. Pretty much like par for the course this year, like 13, 15. So.
Yep.
Dave back in the building from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Welcome back, Dave. Good to have you guys from the other side of the lake joining us as well. Don't come to Two Rivers, Art said. Fish for 8 hours without a bite. Ooh, tough. Pavel, what's up, dude? Fisher Finley said, my Big John outer boat struggles pulling a 300 copper, but my Magnum offshore inline board handles it just fine. Has anyone added a second keel to the other otter boats and successfully pulled a 300 copper?
I don't know. I've never run the bigger otter boats. I've only done little stuff, so I don't really have any experience with that.
Yeah. Maybe somebody in the chat can answer that.
Yeah.
If someone has some experience, can help out. It's a good thing about us being all live. You know, it's not just only us to answer. You guys can share your opinion on the question, and if you have experience with it, you feel free to share in the chat. You know, it's a community kind of feedback thing. John said 2 good steelhead outside of perch in Michigan City, about 35 feet of super slim A-bomb on Dipsies.
Nice.
The A-bomb, man. The A-bomb has been a killer. Been a killer. It's even been hard to get, right, Rob? You haven't been able to get it? Or?
Yeah, the last couple times I ordered, I haven't been able to get it. I've been out of it for a while.
Yeah. Patrick Whipple said 3 for 3 with 3 nice kings last night, southeast of Waukegan. Blue J plug on the 12 color took the biggest fish. A 12 color. Woo!
Yeah, I've been hearing about this 12 color.
Jeez. That's a lot. It's a lot. I hate doing
I'm sure you're the one that reeled it in.
Yeah, it must be. Chris said Port Wash has been slow in the evening. 2 nights, 1 bow, and 1 king. Really? That's interesting. That's interesting. All right. Oh, let's do this. I can actually have that. There we go. So, guys, now you guys can see the chat on the live. Yeah. All right. Plus, that gender reveal from Beaver has been hot. Every trip has caught fish.
I haven't tried that one.
Which one's that one?
It's towards the bottom. I'm going to be out of it right now, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I haven't tried that one. The alien breath has been good for us.
Yeah. That's been a good one. All right, guys, let's get into today's live. Thank you for joining us. First, we'll get into kind of what's new at the shop, Rob. Anything came in?
You know, we got in more Catalinas. We got in moonshine casting spoons. Those are up online. Yeah, we got in P-line laser minnows, so we're kind of a little bit getting into the fall run. You know, we're not too far away, about a month away, so we're starting to get that. There's plugs on the way, and we're starting to talk about custom crankbaits a little bit. So, but not a ton of stuff came in. More wire rods, more wire reels, that whole thing. Like every week, I say the same thing. But the main thing this week was getting those casting spoons up, moonshine casting spoons. And actually, the Moonshine finished Cleos, which they're not online yet, but they will be this week. And what else? Laser minnows, and that's kind of it for now. A little bit slower week for stuff coming in.
Yeah.
But one thing I did add to the website, Catalinas, we do have them pre-spooled with copper. So if you go on the website, just look up copper Catalina, you can get it in increments of like 50 feet all the way to 450 or 500. I don't remember. All spooled up, ready to go.
Timothy said, you mentioned a size 10 lever drag before for downriggers. And what was the name of that again? And it's available online. Oh, that's
was Sultterra.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be online, but I got to check if it's available at the moment. I know I only have one in stock at this very moment. But I don't know if I have it online or not. So I'll have to check that when we get off the live. Guys,
I if you're local, I highly recommend when you stop by the shop, remind Rob or ask Rob to put one of those Sultterras in your hand.
They're what I use.
They're like a
really
sleeper
nice.
reel, man. They really built like a tank. And once you learn the lever drag, you can really fine tune that drag system to get it just right. That's kind of like the big pro on a lever drag system. You can really be very specific with that drag to get it at the right tension you're looking for a wire on your wire, or for us on the rigger rod. We love it on the rigger because once you get that right lever drag, the drag at the right position, clip it into the downrigger on the Scotty, send it down, and the rod stays with that bend at the right tension the whole way. So once you stop dropping at whatever depth, that rod's got the right bend, it's got the right pressure, done. Just another little thing that makes your life easier. One less thing you got to do.
I mean, I do have the 10 available online. Some people also like the 15. But I like the 10.
Okay. Let's see here. We got another comment from Shendi. What's up, fellas? New to the big lake. I pound the bank all the time. Want to do a day trip to South Haven pier fishing for the first time. What rig should I put on my Berkeley big game rod, 8-foot heavy?
Well, it kind of depends on when you're going. But, kind of a sure thing, no matter when you're going and what's around at the time, is a Castmaster or maybe a Glow Clio, something like that. All the different species of trout or salmon will eat it. Whether it's in the fall with the Kings or in the spring with the Cohos, any of that kind of stuff. So you can't go wrong with a silver or gold Castmaster, or any other color, Clio, KO Wobbler. I'd have something along those lines if I could just pick one thing to fish the cast with all year.
Yeah. Robert asks, what pound leader line for Coho Flasher to the peanut fly?
I use 40.
Scott said, are cohos around in decent numbers? If so, what weight are they generally running?
We've seen a few less around lately this week, just not as many. We had one today. I think we actually weighed it was 8.5 pounds. So they're nice size fish, but not as many as we're used to the last couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. We've got the chunkers around, but it's not a ton being caught.
I don't know where they are. They got to be out there somewhere.
Because I haven't seen reports in other areas of people slaying cohos. So they're out doing something somewhere.
Yeah.
And I do know of some captains that went out to like the 300s, and there wasn't a ton going out there either. So interesting what's going on there. All right. So keep the comments coming. Let's get into some of the fishing, Rob. Let's get into how's it been. I haven't been out, and I'll share more than why. But
this week, we had changing conditions throughout the week and some storms and rain. We had some south winds, we had north winds, so the water was moving quite a bit out there. We were pretty stacked up with warm water after the weekend. Then we had some south winds with that heat wave we had. That brought in a little bit of colder water, and then it's later in the afternoon yesterday or mid-morning, it switched back to the north, the wind, and then warmed up that water a bit more. But overall, there was decent fishing throughout the week. Yesterday was really good for Kings. Today was really good for Kings. Today, we landed 14 before work. I think we lost 5. So we had one Steelhead, one Coho, one Laker, and the rest Kings, a couple that were about 15, the rest smaller. And they're kind of biting everything. We fished mainly 90 to 115. Everything was biting. We had SWR down with Aurora that got hit from Mr. Chrome. We had S300 copper out with Alien Breath Beaver that got hit a couple times. The Money Toad, Mr. Chrome was on a 200 copper that got bit. We had the White Pro Troll out there. The Megatron, the White Flashers were out there with the From Under Cheese flies and the Glow Frog flies. They were catching fish. Once the sun was up for a little while, we had switched over to meat with Spin Doctors with the Musclehead Bullfrog. That caught fish. We fished a fairly small area, so what I can say, we talked to some people that weren't doing quite as good. I think the main difference was that we started catching fish, and we didn't let it go long without catching fish before we just turned back. We turned around pretty quick to get right back on them. So I think that was a big help for us. And, we wrapped it up we pulled all our lines at 8 this morning. So that was a pretty decent morning before work, especially for the way it's been lately. So can't complain about that.
Yeah, not at all. Somebody said, loving the overlay, killing the guys. Thanks. I'm glad you like it. Someone asked, what's the average? What depths average are Kings being caught?
Well, for us, it was 90 to 115, and most of the stuff was 40 to 60 down, 65 down.
Jason asked, what depths in the water column are you getting majority of your bites? I think you kind of roughly mentioned that. That 40 to 60 has been, and then 40 to 50 is still warmer water.
Yeah, that's right around where the thermocline was. I think it was more like 40 this morning, but it's been up and down every day.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it. That 40 to 50 thermals, because it's accessible. It's not super deep.
Yeah, it's nice because usually your riggers are effective, more effective when you can fish down a little bit like that, rather than having a thermocline down 20. So.
Yeah, or when the thermal's down like 80, 90, and you're like, oh,
yeah, and then it's hard to get everything done.
Yeah, it's hard to get everything
more
out there.
tangles
Yeah,
and all that.
Yeah, that 50 is a nice sweet spot. Let's see here. Timothy, does the Sultterra have a line counter, or do you just estimate?
We just estimate does not have a line counter. For the downriggers, I don't really feel like I need a line counter. So
yeah, I like them downrigger and long lines because you don't need a line counter for long lines. So coppers and lake course is another great option for the Sultterras. Again, if you're local, come on, put it in your hand. You'll see, man.
Yeah, it's got a lot of power.
A lot of power, a lot of torque. It's a really good rod for long lines.
It takes a little bit. You got to dial in that lever drag. Mess with it a little bit to get the way you like it. Once you have it, you're good to go forever.
All right. Jay Lee, any reports for shore guys?
I have not heard anything this week. Ever since Salmonorama ended, I kind of quit hearing any shore reports. I'd imagine the water's a bit warm right now anyways on our side over here. But, like I said earlier, we're a month away from the King starting, so maybe a little less depending on where you are.
Yeah, and you're going to have the early wave, so I suspect by mid-August you'll start seeing shore guys have like the random, I caught a king in the harbor off the pierhead. We're not too far away, guys. So, get ready, stock up. You need spoons, cranks, great option for those guys. We got stuff here, and stuff will be coming as well.
Cures, egg cures, all that.
Yeah,
we're fully loaded on the Potski stuff. So,
Randy asked the best water temp.
To me, it's anything under 55. I prefer, if I'm strictly targeting kings, I really prefer like 47 to 49. But we get to a point sometimes where you're just not going to find it. So anything below 55.
All right, wild side. What's the heaviest copper you run on a Ninja board? My 200 seems to get tangled versus a 10 color, doesn't it?
We run up to 400 on it.
Yeah. The big Ninja can hold it, man. It can hold it. So I don't know if you're getting tangled. We assume that he's using the big. We don't know if he's using the big one or he didn't. You didn't see what size you're running yet. If it's the big one, you shouldn't be having that issue.
Yeah, we're running the big Ninjas, so up to 400 on that.
So as Rob was talking about stuff that's been working, I kind of was holding some stuff up there. All of the Munda flies, the Fromunda. Lord, I forget all the names. This is which one's in Rob?
This one doesn't have a label on it.
Yeah, it doesn't. But
this one's a Fromunda cheese.
Yeah, the cheese.
Yep.
The Munda Super Frog and the Munda Triple Aqua Glow. These all been working well for Rob and the boat and stuff like that. So we got plenty of flies. Plus, we got the Howies that we all know and love as well at work. We did get re-upped on beaver lures, which
they're almost gone again.
They're almost gone, and they're flying out of here. But they've all been catching fish. Like a lot of bangers. Just a couple here that I've seen more recently that have been working for guys. You've got their Wonder Bread version, very unique interpretation of the Wonder Bread. I know oranges have been doing well, especially down in the Chicago side of things. So this Crawdaddy is one right here that if you're looking for something in that vein, would be another good option to run from them. And then I've seen this guy popping up all across Facebook for a lot of folks. Beaver's been sharing pictures of anglers taking fish on the Fatal Frog. So those are just a handful of ones. We got plenty more up there. If you haven't tried a Beaver's lure spoon yet, you should. They've been doing really well.
The Beavers and the Mr. Chromes are definitely our best sellers this year.
Yeah. And this is our first year carrying the Beavers, and they've been flying out of here. So, it's been great it's always great to have a brand that, again, both of them are small businesses, owned, one's owned by a husband and wife, others owned by the young lady. I don't know, you know her name?
Kristen.
So, yeah, shout out to both of them, man. They're doing their thing. And they're making our lives easier by giving us stuff that we catch fish on. So there's that. The other thing I quickly mentioned, people have been looking for, we do have Five Eyes back in stock for moonshine. People have been looking for it. It's been working really well for a lot of guys, and they were hard to get, but we got some in, as well as some other moonshine stuff. So it's another option.
Caitlin, he got it right. Caitlin, not Chris.
Caitlin, sorry. Thank you. Apologies. Good question here from Knight. Let's take a look at this. Anyone breaking 20-pounders consistently this year? No. I would have had a 20-pounder plus had Captain Ernesto not botched the net job. I'm not going to let him live that down.
And all fish are bigger when they don't hit the net. So
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. All right. Scott said, "Are you guys likely to have meat in stock?"
I've got quite a bit right now.
Yeah, we've got real meat, so you need it. Come grab it. Max said, "Do you sell Ninja Board replacement gripper pads?"
Yes, I do have them. They're not online, but I do have them in the store.
There we go.
And if you need us to ship them to you, just give me a call.
Okay. All right. We talked about that. Anything else before we get into the next portion of things?
I think we got it, other than brawl stuff.
Yeah, we're going to do that now.
So,
all right. The next Big Pond Brawl, guys, coming up in August, which is just
16th.
Yeah, so like just about 2 weeks away. The goal is to have everything ready for Monday for signups. If you are currently in the Brawl as a series boat, you guys have first crack at signups throughout this coming week, to secure your spots. And if you're not in the Brawl series, you can just join for the one Brawl and get involved in there.
Win some money.
There's a lot of money up for grabs too, and it's very simple to do. It's a 5 fish your 5 biggest fish tournament. Makes it very accessible for tuna boat to compete, just as it is against a big boat with 4 guys on it, right? So we've designed it for the small boaters in particular, and so why not? And so be on the lookout on Facebook and everything for the signups. We'll open it up to the public in the second week of August. The first week is going to go to all the series boats. It gives them priority to secure their spots since they're competing for the series prizing and stuff like that. And then we'll open it up for anybody to just do the one-off. Get your feet wet. Have a good time. Put yourself to the test. See where you're at in the where your skill level's at with everything, and gives you a reason to go fish. And if you're going to fish on a Saturday anyway, at least have a chance to win.
Yeah.
My feelings right now is the way the Kings have been size wise. It really can go for anybody. Mm-hmm. All it takes is one person to catch that 18 plus. I'd say that you catch an 18 plus king or two, that makes the big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of your big lake trout, but like you catch 2 18 pluses just because the king size has been, schmediums.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough to win. So everyone has a fair shot. So be on the lookout for our next Big Pond Brawl in August. There's information on it right now on our website, lakemichiganangler.com, that you guys can check out, get some of the info, and do all of that. We'll take this question and we'll get into the last portion of the live today. Mike Flynn. Oops, sorry, not that. Good morning, Mike, by the way. Richard, what's the best way to catch shallow cohos?
It kind of depends on when you're talking about fishing with it now, but overall, I would say a stubby dodger on a dipsy is the best way to catch shallow cohos or even somewhat deep cohos. Like a stubby dodger is the best dodger for catching cohos. Double O is very good too, but these days those stubbies definitely catch a lot of fish. When they're on, they're on.
Yeah. And he said shallow coho. You can be interpreted in different many ways. Shallow spring or
that's what I was saying. Kind of depends.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm probably using a stubby no matter what. So that's why I picked that one rather than just saying like a crankbait. Because if it's now, I'm not using it.
Right.
Even if they're in 20 feet of water, the stubby will catch cohos in almost any situation.
Jason, is there any species tournaments anymore? It seems like everyone has went to 5 fish. That's a great question. Yes, I think we have a video on the channel where we went down in Chicago and there was the charter captains on there have like their own little they have money, but it's more fun and bragging stuff. But they did, it's a per species, each species, the biggest of each species, and have to catch all 5. That was my first time experiencing that. It's a really cool concept because it does challenge you to have to go catch a brown in the summer and go get your Laker and stuff like that. So it is pretty cool concept. One that I'm not mad at, but I think the other angle to that is when you're doing a very specific tournament like that, where it does require you to target specific species, namely brown trout in the summer, that's a whole like separate skill level to learn that and do that. And so I think that when you do a 5 fish tournament specific like that, you're really narrowing that field of potential anglers to do it to like the hardcore, the OGs, the guys who know, all these species like the back of my hand and can do it. And I don't think it's always inviting for like a new person, like, oh, how do I catch a brown trout? where do I even start? So there's like pros and cons to it. I thought it was a really cool concept, but I
mean, back in the day, all the tournaments were more of a multi-species thing where you got points per species and all that. But yeah, like it was a little harder for the newer guys, trying to keep newer guys interested in tournaments and newer fishermen interested in tournaments. So it's easier just to do 5 fish. It's a little more level playing field then. And I think once I'd like to see it get back to that once we get guys with more tournament experience again, like a bigger crowd of experienced fishermen that have learned to target different species a little bit more. Then we can get back into some of these multi-species, because I always enjoyed the strategy of them.
Yeah, that's the cool part.
Where are you going to go fish for first, Kings or Lakers?
Right. Yep.
You know,
it really is a cool one. Me being on the boat, watching them do that, and it was really cool. You did the strategy part. That's the fun part, I think, of it all. It's like, what are we going to hit first? What time do they want to go on this bite? How we're going to go in and what depth we're going to go fish for the browns and try and pull them out.
Yep.
So it is a lot. It is different and fun. And I think us doing the brawl is like that gateway tournament to hopefully get you guys into it. Like, I want to do it more. I want to get better at it. And then if there's enough people that kind of elevate to that level, then we could do like a specific thing like that, and like a one-off try, you know. All right. We still got one more thing to cover here. Let's take more of your questions real quick. Let's see here. David said, sorry. Oops, sorry. At what point do you guys find the females have mature eggs enough to harvest and kill?
Now, usually you should start getting them now. I think I didn't stick around for when we filleted the fish, but one of the kings that we caught, it was starting to get a little gray looking, and it looked like she had some decent eggs by the way her belly looked, but I didn't stick around for the filleting of that, so.
Scott, is it just me, or do the smaller kings less than 12 pounds taste better than the bigger ones? Absolutely.
I'd say smaller fish in general taste better than bigger fish, no matter what the species, for the most part.
Alec, headed out to Chicago tomorrow. It's been a few weeks. Where should we start? Well, Alec, based off of how I've seen the Chicago guys doing, probably off of the R4. Anywhere from right on the – if you're at the R4, it drops on the east side of it. From there out to like 130. Just kind of figure out where they may be for that day, but it seems like that's been still consistent down in Chicago for anglers down there. All right. Kenneth, hi from Tennessee. Just got back from Lake Michigan Monday morning. Well,
awesome.
Glad to hear you made it back home safely, Kenneth. Hope you had a good time out here fishing, and come back soon and stop by and say hello to us. All right. Cool. Let's get to the last part of today's live, guys. This one's a little bit of a, I don't even know how to say it. So first I'll say this. I've been here at the shop now for since COVID, right? Like 4 years?
4 years.
4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's been a great time being here, knowing Rob a long time. He essentially mentioned me in kayak fishing. When I got into kayak fishing, we developed a friendship. And when Rob took over ownership of the shop here, I had, due to COVID, left my career where I was working before that. And so, you know what? Hey, I got my expertise in social media and content and all stuff, and you got the shop. Let's do something. And we've been, been here working with Rob for some years. It's been a great time, creating content, educating people, getting to meet so many cool people. One that I've been super grateful for. It's been a great time. Now I'm at a point where I have accepted a new job opportunity, new career opportunity. And so that's going to take me away from essentially the shop and being around nearly as much as I have been. And so after today, you guys are probably not going to see me much, if at all, at least until I get acclimated into the new career and get situated, and I kind of get a feel for everything and all that stuff. And so things will be, Rob's going to be taking over the lives. The goal is to still continue the weekly lives. We hope to continue the podcast in the winter season once I know my schedule. I'm just comfortable in what I'm doing. I'm making a big change here. My goal is still to contribute in some way and still help out. We're still going to continue the brawl for this season. I'll be on the back end of that. Rob and we have big shout out to Nick and Ron from Ironic, who are going to step up and help to run those events. I think right now we still will try to live stream it, but you know that a lot of that was the technical side. It was on me to set it up, so that may change a little bit. But we are still going to run the tournaments, and then you know there'll be a lot of conversations in the off season about next year and so on and so forth, because it's too much for one person. It was even a lot for just two of us, and we were able to get it through. So there may be, we'll see how that all plays out. But the big thing is just wanted to take the time to just say thank you to you all for you guys' support, for your guys' time, you know, and everything, for watching the videos, for you know, building up this live stream community, which has been great. You know, I'm grateful. I definitely will be trying to make as many stops back in, pop up if I'm free to join a random live. But when it's all said and done, I'm essentially stepping away for the new career. And so we just wanted to mention that. So if you don't see me around, you know, you don't see me around, oh, wonder what happened. Rumors are flying. Everything's good to go.
One starts the rumor.
He would start the rumor and make it like I'm the bad guy. But no, just, you know, it's been a great time here, and you guys have been incredible. You guys' support for the shop here has been incredible. And so, you know, I'm thankful. I know Rob's thankful. And so that's kind of just an update. You know, there's that. And thank you guys for the congrats and the good luck and everything. Definitely appreciate that. Do you guys host kayak tournaments? We have. That's another thing we need to discuss, which is the kayak King Week thing. Yep. So there's a lot of things I gotta sort out. We're gonna make an attempt to set it up so it can be done, but again, it's just on Rob. He has to run the shop. That's priority number one. So things right now are kind of tentative, but the brawl is going to continue. We know that for sure, because we do have other people to help out, and hopefully maybe I'll go into the group and see if there's some other kayakers that want to step up that can help do that to make it a thing and stuff like that. So as far as like fishing videos on the LMA page, those may probably slow down. I'm going to try and do one more video about meat and just share what I've learned about meat rigs and fishing meat, the real and the fake stuff, and share that video as one of my last videos on the channel. You'll have the weekly live still going up, but as far as like tutorial videos, on the water videos, those will probably slow down. So just a heads up, okay? Sawyer said, any insight suggestions for my first trip? Own boat to Manistee. Man, you know, it's a different place over there, even though it's the same body of water. And I was over there. It's definitely cool, but hard to say. You know, Sawyer, I would say look up Dark Blue Adventures YouTube channel. It's Captain Chris, formerly Tingle Tackle. Go to his channel, and he does his weekly lives on Sunday. He's the man over on that side, you know, for Manistee, Ludington. He'll give you the info. Great guy. He's full info. I would tell you to go on his channel and pick his brain. He can give you the more current, like what's happening over there information. All right. Thank you guys again for all the good lucks and the congrats. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Yeah, Dave said it right there. Check out Dark Blue Adventures. Yep. All the best to you, Mike. Thanks for the event information. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Blind Osprey too. That's his first mate. All right. I think we covered everything, guys. Yep. Thank you for your time. Any final thoughts, Rob?
No, thanks for everything you did, and we'll talk to you guys again next week. You're stuck with the guy who doesn't like to be on YouTube now.
He doesn't like to be on YouTube. It's gonna be funny. Hey, the good thing about this is I get to watch on the live and be in the chat and just taunt them.
Yeah. Well, I learned how to use a bot that blocks Shy City hackers, so I don't have to worry about that.
Oh man. Thanks for the 400 copper. Killed it. Salmonorama.
Awesome. I'm glad that worked out for you.
Great to hear. All right, guys. Thanks again. Take care. And Rob will see you guys next week. Later.
How you doing?
See you. Steer.